Hey guys, I'm Coach Jay, and today we're going to talk about why a person would need to have a mental performance coach for their cheerleader. And I got in another mental performance coach that lives down in Florida, Chelsea McQuarrie. She's a Clemson graduate, and we're going to try to answer that question today and help your cheerleaders out. So, Chelsea, tell me about why we need a mental performance coach.
Yeah, so I don't even think people understand how many levels to cheerleading that there is. And I've cheered my entire life, so I know firsthand kind of the struggles that you can go through in it. And there's a lot of people kind of dealing with that and trying to battle through the sport. And just the level of trust that you have for people, and you're putting your life at risk and other people's lives, and it just a lot comes with it, and it can really start to take a toll on you. And so I think it's really important just to be able to have somebody to kind of talk to and share that with, especially somebody like myself who's already gone through that, so that they can, not be dealing with all those struggles themselves.
So if you're on a team and you don't necessarily trust everybody on that team, is that going to affect your performance in a negative way?
Absolutely. Yeah. It is so much trust just because whether somebody's, spotting you and you're trusting them to help you flip, or, you're getting thrown in the air and they're standing under you and they're the only people that can catch you. Things like that, it's definitely like all based off of trust. So if you don't have that trust and communication with them, then it will never work.
And so when you're talking to people, are you also talking to them about off the cheerleading courts, off of the fields? Are you talking about them with things off the field too, as well? Their personal life, their habits, those kind of things as well.
Yeah, because as much as you want to keep like church and state separate, it always every part of your life kind of seeps through the cracks to other parts. And so the things that are going on at home, it's really hard to separate them between, like, when you walk in the gym, the rest of the things don't just go away as much as that would be nice. So things that are happening outside of practice are still gonna affect how you are in practice. And keening in on like the habits part and things like that, how you treat your body is how you're gonna, like, what you get in is what you're gonna get out, basically. So things like when you go to bed or what you're putting in your body to eat, like all of that is really, really, really crucial to how you're gonna perform and how you're gonna be able to practice. And so things like, getting the right amount of sleep, eating healthy, making sure that you're working out enough, just all those things, they kind of tie into each other. And you can't be a good athlete if you don't do those other things to correlate with it. So it's definitely in and out of practice.
And so a couple of things being out of order can really make life hell for a cheerleader.
Definitely. And you have to be on your A game, like whether it's just a practice or it's a competition day, because you always have somebody's life in your hands or your own life. And so it does take a big toll, but that's why you have to just be on your game, and you have to be recovering and resting well and doing all those things so that you can be performing well.
And so if a person's having a bad day and then they have to go to cheer that day, is it about a 90% chance that half the fans know that that person's having a rough day?
Yeah, so that's the thing with cheerleading too, is that you're in front of, I cheered at Clemson. I was in front of 80,000 people every game day. And you're the one that's supposed to be out there, kind of putting on a show for everybody, smiling, doing the best. And it's like if you have underlying things going on outside, it's kind of hard to keep up this facade. And I think that's the biggest reason why, not
Yeah.
the biggest, but one of them, why cheerleaders especially need this, because they have to, put on a show and always be uppity, and it does weigh on you a lot. And, it's hard for somebody to just be on 24/7, but when you have 80,000 people watching you, you can't really just turn it off. And so it just gets to be a lot. And to be able to like talk to somebody about it and kind of be able to decompress in those times that you have off and you don't have a million eyes on you, it's really good to do something like this.
And in addition, you got TV cameras, so ACC Network, ESPN, those other things. So you could have, at any given moment, you could have a camera on you. So it's not the time to have a bad day. So, what are some of the issues that you've seen over the years with cheerleaders where they either burned out or they got off track and then things just went south pretty quick?
Yeah, burnout is very real just because, I mean, you're practicing every single day. It's demanding practices. It's not easy. And so to have to do it every day and keep up with it, it is a lot. And it does like cause a big strain and it takes out a huge chunk of your life. I mean, when I look back at like my whole childhood, all I can see is just like cheerleading. And I love it because it got me to the place that I wanted to be at. And so it paid off. But there was definitely times where I was like, wow, like, eh, should I stop right now? And I'm obviously glad I didn't. Um, but just because it takes up so much of your time, there's a huge like burnout rate. And the other thing that I've seen the biggest is cheer's just so mental. Like you can have a skill, but if your brain is telling you not to throw it, you're not going to throw it. And so mental blocks are like a massive, massive part of cheerleading. And I went through one myself, and it's usually something that you get triggered by something. So, like, I broke my arm tumbling. And so every time I went to go do that tumbling pass for like a year or two, maybe 2 or 3 years after, my brain was just like, no, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. And your brain is in control. Like, it is the wheel of the ship. And so if it's telling you not to do something, it takes a lot of work to revert that. And so I would say mental blocks are just really, really big in cheerleading.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a sport just like anything else, just like baseball, football, basketball. It's I have been at games before, especially football games, where the cheerleaders are working harder than the football players.
Yeah, yeah.
More activity, and that's having more than one occasion where the cheerleaders, the dancers were going the entire game, and meanwhile the football team's barely on the field, like the
Right.
offense for some
Right. And
big
that's the thing,
SEC
especially
games.
when like, I mean, when your defense is playing the whole game, your offense is sitting the bench the whole
Yeah,
game. And like
right.
we don't have like water breaks or like
Commercial
timeout.
breaks.
Like
Yeah,
whenever there's commercial breaks and whenever there's timeouts, that's when we have to go do even more. And
yeah,
so there's
yeah.
never really off. And for example, like for when I cheered at Clemson, we had to get to the game at least 4 hours early to just like be ready. And so, we'd have to spend so much time getting ready. And then we had to be practicing for 4 hours before the game, and then you start the game, and that's when people see you. And so you've already done 4 hours of practice, and then now you're having to go do appearances and cheer the whole game, and you're having to do all of like the breaks that they get, we are just even more on. So it's really like you never get downtime, and you have to be on the whole time because there's always either cameras or eyes on you.
Right.
So it is taxing.
Yeah, yeah. It's rewarding, but it's also taxing, and it's one more reason why people need to have an outlet, to have somebody to talk to, and to kind of work through the stuff, the struggles, dealing with coaches, dealing with teammates, dealing with peers. So yeah, so we will talk about this again in some future broadcasts, and I think this stuff is great, and I can see why you're successful at that, and I can definitely see a need. I'm working with baseball players every single day, and we're just dealing with a lot of these same issues as well as social media and all that. But I want to talk to you again about some of this other stuff. Where can people find you and get more information about working with you as a mental performance coach?
Yeah, so we have a Psychology Today page, and then our website is just sportsintervention.com. So you can find us there. Um, on that website, too, is where you can sign up if you want to get into something like this and you want to have somebody to kind of talk to and help you through all that stuff. And then also we have a Instagram, so we can attach all that at the bottom just to be able to
Uh,
access it.
yeah. So if we can't attach the Instagram on the bottom, what's the address? Do you remember do you know
Coaching mental performance.
okay. Coaching mental
Yes.
performance.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We can use that. And we can always put it, I guess, as a description in the description. So that's good too. So anyway, all right. Thank you very much. I appreciate your time today. This is awesome. And we'll do it again.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless. See ya.
Thank
All right. Bye.